goes underneath that seat in front of you.
Welcome to JW Outdoors. We made it to Plum Creek. We're dodging thunderstorms. We're going from 90 degrees down to 60 degrees and back up to 90 degrees. We'll see how dry we can stay. Well, since we're going to be doing all our hiking tomorrow, we're setting up our shelters right away. Looks like step 2 is going to come early on this trip, but we're going to be going up and over that bluff over there and over here. There's a large reservoir over here called Lake Meredith. And there's a couple of trails. I think one of them's 3 miles, one of them's 5, and we're gonna fight the heat and try to hike those tomorrow and get some at least good pictures. This is really beautiful country here. It's been a while since I've been to the high desert here, but we'll see how much fun it is. Well, we're down here at Plum Creek, and we're kind of going through and looking for an old cave that looks like it collapsed, but this whole area was hit by a big wildfire that made national news in the very end of the winter, and it looks like it may have even caused that cave to collapse because the vegetation all burned around here. Nonetheless, it's still a very beautiful place. Well, as we're moving back over here, the heat's starting to finally come out of things and the thunderstorms are gone, and it's about 85 or 90, and we're gonna go down there and build a big fire and just relax for then get ready for the hike tomorrow. We looked at some caves where the lake used to go 30 years ago, and just getting to look at stuff in the evening down here. Well, we survived the storm last night, maybe for about 4 hours. None of the tents got soaked, and there's a little puddle over here, but it drained pretty well. Other than that, it's a pretty nice morning. It's already about 80 degrees, so. Well, after a mishap at our last hiking outing, we decided to do a day hike here in the desert at Wildcat Bluff, which is near Amarillo, Texas. It's a nature preserve. They have some trails that are about 2 miles long, so we're gonna hike around and see how many grasshoppers can land on us. We've just been inundated with grasshoppers. North America used to be the home of the world's largest locusts, but in the early part of the 20th century, they wiped all of them out with the way we farm. The same thing that brought the Dust Bowl. But if you was to be walking down this trail with me right now, you'd start to wonder if they're maybe making a comeback. They're everywhere. Well, as we found at Plum Creek, there's literally no water out here, so we had to bring bottled water. Most of the desert hikes don't have any sources of water. I used to hike a lot at a place called Paladera Canyon. And there are several river crossings down there, but you gotta make sure and not get water out of stagnant, smelly, old water, which is a much bigger problem here than in like Washington. But I don't know, as long as you bring all your weight is water, these are pretty fun hikes. Well, we've made it to the Greg Marcy Trail Overlook. Apparently, this was established by a guy named Josiah Gregg in 1840. If you see behind me, there's kind of an overlook. If I'm not mistaken, this land was all owned by a single guy named Stanley Marsh and his wife at one point, and they've slowly sold off slots. And I think this nature preserve and these giant houses back here were all bought from that. But there's probably 25 miles of land he owned at one point, and it's pretty much untouched. We made it all the way back here to the old overlook. It's just kind of a bluff that drops about 80 or 90 feet down there, and there's another trail, or looks like an established road, but if you kind of follow the ridge line, you'll see that the whole landscape is mostly mesas, and this is pretty much the essence of Texas hiking, at least North Texas hiking. Well, we're making our way down to the second real destination here in Wildcat Bluff, which is a windmill down here. I'm sure an old stock tank that fed watered cattle, but it's probably just here for decoration at this point. But if you do any hiking in west northern Texas like this, it's one of the things you'll see as a regular landmark are very old windmills. There's lots of them here still. One of the good things about doing this desert weather is I got a chance to finally try the Brooks Cascadia shoes. And they're just perfect for this environment. There's no water to worry about. They're a little on the warm side, but you got all rocks, and you could easily run this trail if you were so inclined. You might sweat a little more, but so as we come across another group of hikers here that were also at the old windmill, I decided to take a different path than they went down. There's several kids with them. They seem to be taking the heat in stride. It's pretty warm, pretty sunny. Another horny toad. Maybe the same one. Or horned frog. Anyways, yeah, coming up that ridge, I started sweating, and now I'm warm now. I'm hiking completely by myself, and I was hiking with somebody else earlier, and we were going slower, so it's much easier to stave off the sweating. But scrambling down there to that windmill real quick, it pushed me over the edge. No, we done about a mile and a half. I went off after the actual bluff, went down to the windmill there, and it was about a mile and a half. It's about 93 degrees. It's really hazy. First thing you're gonna notice is the grasshoppers, but I think that's a really nice hike. The trails are really well maintained and there's no hazards, not rough. You could probably just wear regular shoes and get through this one. I saw kids and stuff down here, so it's all ages. But from JW Outdoors, thanks for watching.